everybody. How are you? How are you doing? I hope you are doing okay. As a matter of fact, I hope you're doing great. I hope you're not feeling too lonely today. You know, the very best way to deal with loneliness, I think, is self care. Doing your best to take care of your mental and physical health, getting exercise, eating properly, um, and doing something nice for yourself. And doing something nice for yourself doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It might be as simple as having your favorite beverage or watching your favorite television show or having your favorite beverage while you're watching your television show that you love. But doing something nice for yourself every single day. Do you wish you had somebody to do that with? Yes. But if you don't, you still have to look after yourself. You still have to manage your life. One of my lovely commenters said to me, I don't even go outside anymore because, she or he is so lonely. It's part of loneliness. You just stop going outside. You don't want to anymore. Like, what's the point, right? Well, I know why I felt like not going outside sometimes, because when you don't have a lot of company, you don't exchange enough conversations, you don't have enough social life, um you're not enough in the presence of other humans, um you start going inward a lot. And going inward is good for meditation and self-awareness and self-care. But if you're going inward because you just don't feel like you belong, or you don't belong to any community, or um you're feeling just isolated, that's not a great feeling, right? That's not a great situation. And I know exactly how that commenter feels, because sometimes you just kind of like, well, I may as well stay inside, you know. I don't have anybody to talk to right now, so. But, you know, I think we all long to have at least one good friend, somebody we can talk to. And this might be your mom or your dad or your sibling, you know. Um, Someone in your family could be your best friend. And that's always nice. My mom was my best friend before she passed away years ago. We were very good friends. I felt comfortable around my mom. Um, we're both Virgos, and I enjoyed her company. She was a funny person, she was a kind person, and we both sang. I got my singing talent, I believe, from her. So yeah, it was great being around my mom. So many people I find don't get along with their mothers, and I'm like, gosh, that's a shame. I am so blessed that I got along well with my mom. you know. Everybody, I think, longs to have some sort of connection, you know, a great connection, whether it's a love partner or a best friend or close to a family member or family members, or, having that Sex and the City type friendship, I found when I lived in New York City that as rough and tough as New York City was, I no longer live there, but as rough and tough, and New Yorkers kind of expect you to tell you everything that you need in 25 seconds or less, or the eyes kind of glaze over, especially if they don't know you yet or whatever. Um, I found that New Yorkers are great friends once they get to know you. It takes a while, and they watch you. They're wary people. They're kind of suspicious people. They're like, and it's a huge city, and a lot of crap happens there, so they're gonna watch you. But once they watch you for a good while, and they see repetitively kind of who you are, um, then the walls come down kind of slowly, slower, 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 and eventually you make a friend. And I think they make excellent friends. New Yorkers once, because they're gonna test the waters a little bit to see who you are, watch you, but they make great friends. I still have a couple of good friends from New York, and I like them, and they like me. Yeah, I don't see them often. I can't talk to them often because New York is a very expensive place, and they have to work hard to continue their life there. And that's their life. That is where they stay. That's who they are. They love New York. I realize too, a lot of people are giving up their busy lives and moving to other places like Mexico and Panama, Costa Rica. I watch videos about these expat women who are moving, kind of giving up their lives in the United States, and they either go by themselves and make friends in their new country, because it's like that commonality. It helps you make friends because you're all in the same boat. So you're a foreigner in a strange land, you meet other foreigners in a strange land, and you're all dealing with the same things, and you get together, right? And especially if it's a newness about it. You just got there 6 months ago, and somebody just got there a year ago, and somebody just got there 2 weeks ago. You're still learning. It's still fresh. You're still learning, and everybody's teaching each other a little something new. So that's a way of overcoming loneliness, because busyness creates loneliness, you know. When you're super busy, hyper busy, trying to make ends meet, you get lonely. And I'm there talking to you through the ethers, through cyberspace. I could be talking to no one right now, or I could be talking to a couple of people in Podunk, Iowa, or Idaho, or I could be talking to somebody in the nether regions of Asia or Africa, or in the Caribbean. I could be talking to somebody in Northern California. Can we be friends? Probably not. But can we comfort each other? Can I send you love and light? I sure can. I sure can. And I send you love and light right now. And shout out to Do Dash. I have been meaning to make a channel on YouTube for a while. And I was like, what am I going to talk about? What's near and dear to my heart? What can I share with somebody else? How can I help somebody else? Because people need help. People want to be with other people who can encourage them, support them, help them. And Dodash, a younger lady than me, she looks like maybe a millennial, um, and she's encouraging people to make videos, and she's encouraging to speak about your truth, you know, and how you're feeling. Things have become a lot more transparent in this day and age, and people are more open. They're not as secretive. They're not as embarrassed to speak their truth, or they don't feel that people are going to shame them. Although there's always those trolls and stuff like that will come out and say, "Well, you're a loser," or whatever, whatever. And yeah, I mean, you have to deal with that when you go to work and school and the supermarket. There's good energies and bad energies. And you guys know I'm a big believer in energy. And I do believe a lot of why we are all so lonely is that there is a lonely, low vibrational energy on the world. And it has been created by um, this lack of communication because we are all on social media. Like you go to a restaurant and you see entire families on social media. Well, I can tell you this. I went to Jamaica recently, and um, what I find very refreshing there is that a lot of the teenagers are not on social media like that. They have their phones and everything, but they're not buried in it. There's still that old fashioned way of communicating by looking at each other's face, right? And being in each other's presence. We call it liming, right? We're going to a lime. We're dancing together. We're talking together. If we're playing a video game, we're sitting beside each other playing the video game. We're not in two different houses playing the video game with each other. But even with video games in Jamaica, they might play for an hour or so and then they go outside. Jamaica is a very beautiful place and the weather is great all year round. And they go outside and they hang out outside, and they go driving around together, strolling together. They meet up at each other's house. It's much more communicative. And like I will see little kids like in Walmart here, and they on their tablets and stuff like that, and the mom has her phone and she's looking and she's talking on the phone while the baby's in the cart looking at something like that. And in Jamaica, mom and child are in the supermarket and they're talking to each other, and the child is helping pick out the groceries and they're talking to each other, you know and I'll go to a restaurant and everybody's sitting down. Nobody has any phone in their hand. No parent, mom or dad, kids. Everybody's eating and looking at each other in their face and talking. So there's still that old time way. So that energy of loneliness is not there, you know. Do you have to have deep friendships to not be lonely? I don't think so. Especially if you get to a certain age and you may have made your friends already, or you have a certain core group of friends. but you're not like around them at the time. Like me, I'm not around my core group of friends. They're not around me. Um, but it helps to go out and have a cup of tea at a cafe and say good morning to people, and maybe have a very quick casual conversation with someone for a couple of minutes. Those things help to ease loneliness. So I would encourage everyone, even if they're not making deep friendships, um to ease loneliness, you should go outside, even if it's to say, raise your hand to the neighbor and say good morning, and for them to say good morning back to you. Your roses are looking really nice. Okay, that's great. That kind of thing. Um, and that person was, oh, thanks. And like, oh, how you been? Fine. Even that sort of short exchange is helpful. So I would encourage my lonely people to go outside. You don't have to be going to make deep friendships, but just to have a human exchange, I think will lift your day. You don't have to know the business, they don't have to know your business. You don't have to get involved with them so that they can disappoint you then. You know? Um, because I know why a lot of people are lonely. They're tired of humans disappointing them. I know I've been tired of humans disappointing me. Guess what? It's gotten dark. It's gotten very dark. Let me put my face closer. Um, I hope it's okay that it was dark for all that time. Um, yeah. So it's like what I'm encouraging is that don't depend on just deep friendships to lift your spirits. Actually, just have, and it may seem like it's superficial, but it's medicine. It is medicine. Even if you have animal companions like I do, and I love my animal companions, and they lift my spirits. And I would encourage you to adopt an animal, to help an animal, um, if you can, you know. They're wonderful companions. But even then, and much to my chagrin, okay, because I've had my more than, all right, my fair share of problems with other humans, it's like it's something that we need to share something with someone else that's another human. It's just like when we have a cat or a dog, we like to have our doggy friends have another dog, or depending if they might get along with a cat, or that kind of thing, or our cat friends, we have two cats because we have to go to work or we have to go out of town for a bit or whatever. And whoever comes in to take care of them, that's not their person, but they have their buddy, they have their other cat friend there, or they have their other dog friend there, that kind of thing. um or a horse. A horse is better to have two horses than one, I think. I don't like to see a lonely horse. Or you'll go, you'll see them like us, like those places. I don't like zoos at all. I hate to see an animal alone in a zoo. It is, to me, torture, abusive. You know, everybody needs somebody. Um, So if you don't have anyone at home, I would definitely still have just a regular, and I'm not going to say a superficial exchange, because it's not superficial to you and it may not be superficial to that person, for you to smile at them and say hello. Hey, how you doing? I'm fine. How you doing? Okay. And that might be it. But it's an exchange, and it keeps you uplifted, you know? And like I said, you don't have to know anything about that person. You don't have to get into any deep relationship with them to be disappointed or to be, too involved, right? Because frankly, you in this world sometimes you don't have that time. But I think it helps when that other person who might be lonely too gets a greeting from you. Hi, how are you? Fine. And they mightn't say anything else, but it might have uplifted them. It just your loving, kind spirit, just your inquiry, unbeknownst to them, could have shifted their energy, because good energy begets good energy. So I would encourage you to have even short exchanges with people if you're feeling lonely. Because I know I think it's which one do I like? Barnes and Noble. And I go to Barnes and Noble and they have a nice cafe, and I will order my favorite pastry or something, you know, or a favorite coffee. They have some stuff that I like or I can eat. I can't eat everything they have. Um, oh, my light went off. Why is that? Okay. Um, but that's neither here nor there. But I order something that I like. I know that they have oat milk, good, and I can have a nice coffee, right? And yeah, and I speak to my favorite barista. Her name is Gabby, and Gabby always has a smile for me, and it's short conversations. Hey, Gabby, how you doing? Hey, Susan, what's up? She always remembers my name now, you know, and she remembers that I don't have dairy, and you want oat milk, that kind of thing, and yeah, and I sit down and have a coffee, and just being around. There's a lot of students in there, young people, and older people come in there, and somebody might nod at you, and you nod back, and sometimes there's no exchange at all, but the energy of others are there. You're around others. And I stay in there for a couple hours and I look at books, and I sit down in the little areas where they have chairs, and I do a little people watching, and I'm sure they watch me, right? So, yeah, that helps. Go out and speak to somebody, even if it is a 10-second conversation, a 5-second one. It's about an exchange of pleasantries, right? So, yeah, that's my tip for today. Self-care. And we'll continue to talk about assuaging loneliness, because sometimes your only company is yourself. So you have to continuously uplift your energy. or you'll find yourself maybe falling into an anxiety or a depression or sadness or isolating yourself too much. Consider it good practice to get outside and just say hello to somebody. Not if you can't say hello, nod your head at somebody. Even if it's averting your eyes for a second and you walk past and you go, and then the next one you go, you might look at them and go, and then the next person might be, hello. But try to talk to somebody, even if it's for a few seconds, even if it's someone like your favorite barista. Hey, how are you doing? What would you like today? Oh, I would like that. That's a conversation, right? And you're getting something in exchange. You're getting your favorite coffee. And that person is going to smile at you. Even if it's a sales smile, it's an energy exchange to keep you going. All right, let's keep company. Like my video, please, because that helps me feel less lonely. Subscribe to my videos because that makes me feel less lonely. It means that somebody likes me out there, right? And share it with someone who you feel is lonely, who needs somebody other than an AI friend. I'm human, I'm real. And I'm sharing with you my own experiences of being lonely and how I think you might become less lonely, because we have to, when you're a lonely person, you have to treasure your own company, but try to remember as well that you still need an energy exchange to refresh your own spirit. Okay? So let's keep company, and I'll see you soon.